Alright, welcome back everyone for another video. So as I explained in my last video, where I was talking about my social media experiment or screen time experiment, so I had told you guys I was going to be doing Genesis, and I was going to be doing John. So I'm actually covering Genesis 6 right now, and then I will be going into John. So Genesis 6 is not really that long, so I am just going to real quick read it, and then I will go into my notes and discussion of what I kind of took from it. Now, just first thing is I'm using my new Bible. So this is the English Standard Version, which the wording is a little different in this one versus the New King James I'm used to. So I might have to alternate my notes just a tad bit because, like I said, I took notes based off of the New King James Version instead of the ESV version. So let's go ahead and get into it. Increased corruption on earth. When man began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart were only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart. So the Lord said, I will blot out man, whom I have created from the face of the land, man and animals, and creeping things, and birds of the heavens, for I am sorry I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Verse 8 is, to the end, is Noah and the flood. And it continues on into 7, but I'm not going into 7 today, so. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God, and Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on earth. And God said to Noah, I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you are to make it. The length of the ark is 300 cubits, its breadth is 50 cubits, and its height is 30 cubits. Make a roof of the ark and finish it to a cubit above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks, for behold, I will bring a flood of the waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, in which is breath of life under heaven. Everything that is on earth shall die, but I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female, of the birds according to their kinds, and of the animals according to their kinds, of every creeping things of the ground. According to his kind, 2 of every sort shall come to you to keep them alive. Also take with you every sort of food that is eaten, and store it up. It shall serve as food for you and for them. Noah did this. He did all that God commanded him. And that is chapter 6. Like I said, it continues on into chapter 7, and it describes kind of the flood and what happens in the flood. But like I said, I'm not going into 7 today. I am just doing 6 and kind of focusing on this section here. Now, like I said, unfortunately, My notes are directed at the New King James Version, which, like I said, it is a little differently. And I can tell you right now that it's different. But let's just go ahead and start at the beginning, okay? I don't actually really need my notes, considering I kind of got a general premises of what is going on now that I've actually read it and actually taken thorough notes on it. So the first thing I want to point out is that the sons of God is referring to fallen angels that Lucifer or Satan had taken down with him when he fell, and they found that the human women were attractive, and they developed a relationship with them, and they bore them what was considered to be Nephilim. Nephilims are, according to mythology, half human, half angels, but the Bible describes them as mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. So basically, they were just like giants. They were just, I don't know exactly how to explain it. Let me just go in my notes, okay? Because I took off that. Okay, so they basically, like I said, they had intermarriage. So in other words, they just had these kind of things, what were considered giants. But that didn't necessarily refer to them as really tall people, because we already had those kind of tall people. I mean, even nowadays we have tall people. Like, we've got some basketball players that are like 6 feet, 7 feet, and like I feel like a midget compared to them. So, way I thought about it and the way that I looked into it is, it's more towards the demonic element of their parentage. So they were, like I said, as it says, they were mighty men who were of old, men of renown, and they're the offspring of an angel and a human, which is not exactly how God wanted things. It's forbidden. So, in Jude 6-7, it says that there are angels that did not abide by their proper domain, which are the ones they're talking about right now. Their proper domain is meant to be in heaven. They're meant to be reigning, not exactly reigning, but like they're meant to be up there with God, not down on earth and intermingling with Hemos. Okay, it's an unnatural reunion between humans and angels, and because of that, they are reserved in chains of darkness, awaiting judgment day, because they gave into sexual morality. So when judgment happens, so like after the tribulation and all the Christians are gone and everything else, then comes judgment day, and that is what they're waiting for. So because of the fact that these angels did give into immorality and they corrupted the human race, God felt really upset. He felt really hurt. He felt basically betrayed, and he regretted making the human race. He regretted his creation. He regretted everything. And if you think about it nowadays, I mean, that kind of makes you sad, because the fact is that our God, our Lord and Savior, feels that we were a mistake, that He made a mistake and regrets the whole entire thing. But then you go into the New Testament with Jesus and all of that, and then you kind of get to the point that, oh hey, yes, at this one point in time, even He regretted something. He regretted something that He did, something He made, but this is the outcome of it. Now we have a chance of being saved. We have a chance of being with Him. Now He doesn't so much regret our existence. I mean, maybe He still does, just a little bit, because the fact is that the human race still is completely corrupted, and it is really messed up how the world has gotten. But there are still some people out there who well, like just like Noah, we walk with God. We learn who He is. We found favor in His eyes, and that's kind of the reason why we're still here. So obviously, as I said, like Noah found favor in His eyes because of the fact that he's in the exact same shoes that we are. He walked with God. He trusted Him. He believed in Him. He listened to Him, and the meaning of the chapter is exact proof of the fact that he listens to God. Okay, because Noah is told to make an ark. And let me just go ahead and give you guys the points for all of the measurements and everything. Okay, now the measurements is, I guess maybe they think it's important because of the fact that maybe we can recreate the ark or something like that. I don't know. But I do know based off those measurements alone, the ark was not a boat. It was not a ship. It was a quote-unquote well-ventilated barge meant only to float and not sail anywhere. So basically it's basically a chest, which is a shoebox shape with a large enough opening around the top. So basically think like the Titanic, okay, just minus all of the fancy stuff. So no windows, the little pillars and everything, all the fancy stuff. Just forget all of that stuff, and that's basically what you have is the ark. It is literally just meant to be a big chest. Keep anything in it and keep everything else that's on the outside out. So I went into a little more details because I wanted to know how many animals and everything was actually carried into this, and I did plenty of research into that. So if the ark carried 2 of every family of animals, there would be about 700 pairs of animals. But if the ark carried 2 of every species of animals, there would be about 35,000 pairs of animals. So the average size of a land animal is about the size of a sheep, or sometimes even a little smaller. And the ark would carry 136,560 sheep in half of its capacity, which would leave plenty of room for provisions and people. So that just kind of puts in perspective of like how big this ark really is, to have that much sheep in only half of its capacity, half of its, and it has 3 levels. So God tells him to cover with pitch, which is basically like this black tar kind of substance, and it basically makes the ark waterproof. So they can be on the water or in the water for days, months, weeks, years, and not have any water get inside at all. So it goes on to say that God regrets making mankind, and he wants to destroy the earth, and that he tells them to make this ark, and he explains to them, hey, you have found favor in my eyes. I'm going to preserve you, your wife, your son's kids, and save you guys' lives. But in order to do that, you have to make this ark. You have to be able to bring in all of these animals, fit them. You gotta basically play Tetris in a sense. All of these animals, 2 by 2, are gonna come to you, and you need to fit them into this ark according to however it's gonna work. And then he tells them, like, hey, where is it? Set the door of the ark on its side. So basically, you have this big barrier, and you have this door right here on the side. And that's what, and without question, Noah does it. He just does it willingly, and he follows obedience, and in my opinion, that is considered total blind faith, because yes, God told him that he wanted to destroy everything. He wanted to destroy the earth. He wanted to completely just basically make a hard restart, and he was just going to save just them. And then he says, I'm going to establish a covenant with you. Okay, and that it becomes the new covenant. I mean not the new covenant. The new covenant is actually in the New Testament, but this is like the new Old Testament covenant, I guess you want to call it, because like we had Genesis up until 5, and that's kind of in a sense one covenant. But then he makes an official covenant at this point. It's the first time he actually uses the word covenant. The first time he actually establishes, hey, I'm going to make it a covenant. But a lot of people believe from Genesis 1 up until Genesis 5, there was a silent covenant. The fact that God made all these people, he made all of these animals. I mean, that's kind of like, in a sense, the very first silent covenant. But Genesis 6 here is the first official voiced out covenant. And then, of course, in Matthew in the New Testament is the actual new covenant that we live by today. So, without question, Noah created the ark, and then we go into 7, where it is the actual entire flooding of the earth. But like I said, I'm not going to go into that today. I literally just wanted to focus on 6 and get you guys kind of feedback and see how you guys think things have changed between the hard restart of creation up until now. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so here I wanted to actually point this out because this is the chronological of Noah's time in the ark. So yes, it basically is stating here the event was announcement of the flood 7 days in advance. So I guess they got the announcement 7 days prior, which was so it has a reference as event, as a date, and then the date. So I guess it was on a Sunday. And the date was 2/10/600. Okay. That's a long time ago. Then the flood begins. Noah and his family enters the ark, which is 2/17/600, which is also on a Sunday apparently. And then it goes into the flood lasts 40 days and ends. Ark rests on a mountain. The mountaintops eventually become visible. Ravens set out, etc., etc., etc. You guys should. I mean, I hope people know the actual, the flooding of the ark, flooding of the earth story. But this is I like that because, like I said, it has this little chart right down here, and I will go more into depth than that. I just kind of wanted to point that out because I literally just saw it as I was about to end this video, and I wanted to include that because that's really cool. I like that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and I will see you guys with the next video of Genesis 7, which I will probably try and record that Thursday, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my Matthew study. I mean, why do I keep saying Matthew? John. And I will get these guys uploaded for you guys, and hopefully you guys learned something. So, alright, you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.